Jermaine Taylor here. Ooh, looks like we just got live. I'm here with some dear friends of mine. Mr. CEO of Elevated Minds, Mr. Carl David. I see Lauren here. Jared just joined us, Alden. And these are all a bunch of my friends. These are the people that I literally wake up for, guys. There's nothing like being around successful people, man. It just gives you a different atmosphere to breathe in. And today we're just basically going to chop it up, bounce around a few ideas about perception, right? A lot of the time we hear things like perception is reality, and I know that Carl actually has a few things to share about that. So I'm going to actually let him talk about that topic.
What's going on, guys? Carl David here. Welcome to our Hangout. We do these every single Wednesday. Last night we did a sporadic one. If you guys missed that, we'll kind of let you in on what we talked about, but it was really powerful. Okay, so this week our whole focus has been on perception and what it means to me, what it means to you in business, in relationship, in your spirituality. There's a lot of things that you'll learn as you understand how to see things in your own light, in your own way. It's a very dear subject because a lot of people, when you learn to apply some of these things into your businesses, into your lives, it'll change your whole view on how things actually work and function. That is the way you see a situation that can actually make it better, or the way you're talking to a person that can make them join your business that much easier. It's a perception. That word is so powerful. I'm actually read you the definition and kind of toss it around to everybody and let them introduce themselves and what that word means to them, because perception is crucial. Perception is the organization, identification, and interpretation of sensory information in order to represent and understand the environment. Okay, all perception is how we see, hear, and touch and feel things. It's our sensory information.
Worth joining, dude. They give you like $10,000 worth of value for basically not even a fraction of the cost.
Jermaine was using his perception skills to explain this to a prospect, most probably. But yeah, guys. So what that word means to me is how I get up and start my day, how I see and plan my week out. When I'm doing business with a particular person, like a powerhouse leader or somebody who's maybe new in the business, how can we perceive the situation, or how do I take things in if I'm going through a struggle, or if I see something powerful that I need to make happen? How do I take this information in, and how do I see it? Because perception is usually what can throw you off. You're going through something that is good for you, but you think it's bad. Like, you ever got in a car and say you're running into a bunch of red lights, or you missed the bus, the one bus that was supposed to get you to wherever your destination was on time, right? All these obstacles happen, and then you couldn't get to where you're going. Little did you know, it's your universe, it's God, it's powers that are actually making things happen how we perceive it. It's how we look at things. It's how you look at your relationship that make it better. Every scenario, we have this ability to perceive it a certain way. It's just how we decide things. We shape it, we make it happen. So Ari, I don't know if you wanted to hop on real quick before we pass it to Jared and Alden and Lauren, so we can go into some like, I know Jermaine has a lot to say. He always comes from and has a lot to say, but what's your perception on perception?
Yeah, Adi Esquidiaz here, guys. I'm coming through clear. Everybody hear me good? We straight?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, so I mean, to kind of piggyback off of the definitions you were given, like, what immediately came to my mind is a filter. Perception is your filter for everything that's coming in, everything that's happening, everything that you're going through, right? So we could perceive something to be a problem, a major issue, or a learning opportunity. So for anybody that, and I know everybody on this panel has done a ton of personal development, you always hear about these moguls and these mega millionaires and these incredible businessmen and women, and there's always a point where either they were about to go broke, went broke, or whatever the case may be. Whenever you hear about people making money in the stock market and everything else, when everything hits the fan, the smart guys, the ones that have that proper perception and that proper filter, see it as opportunity for growth, always. So to me, just based on the definitions that you were given and the words that you were saying just now, I just thought of a filter. How are we going to see and receive and react and be proactive to everything that's happening? So I think also with that, the important part isn't so much just how we see it, it's how we act on that, right? Because nothing is nothing if it doesn't actually make us do something. It's nothing until we do something. So that filter, the way that we receive it, becomes a catalyst for a certain type of action. So if your filter's all muddied up and dirty and your perception is dirty, you know, dirt in, dirt out, it's just going to be garbage coming out. So you know, a crucial part of the mindset, that's pretty much what I got in mind right now, man.
I appreciate that. Alden, if you want to hop on real quick, let's see if we can get a clear connection for you.
Yeah, y'all can hear me good or not?
Yeah, we can hear you. How's it going, bro?
I'm good, bro. You know, hey everybody, it's Alden, Smart Income Builder.
Smart Income Builder. This man is. I love how he branded himself. It's totally different. You know, you would not know it's Alden.
Yeah, man. I mean, perception. You know, perceive. That word is, you know, I guess, Carl, you know how I look at life. Is that to me, that word is just how you look at every situation, the good and the bad. You know, me personally, I take every bad thing that happens in life as, in actuality, something good, because you learn lessons from every bad thing. And, you know, it's just, to me, you know, not to take long, it's just how you look at things. To me, that's what that word means to me. You know, perception, what do I perceive about this situation, you know? But that's about it.
All right, Lauren, are you there?
I'm here.
She's there. Welcome to our hangout. We were just on a couple hangouts earlier today, but Lauren was excited about this because she actually took some time and said, okay, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna swing today. What's your perception on perception? You know, we were on that hangout last night and it was so powerful to hear some of these things, and you know, it's good to share it and hear from you because you have your own fan base that's growing out there. Because everybody wants to hear what you have to say.
Sorry guys, I just kind of like got my mind together, so I'm kind of off right now, but I'll get there. But anyways, hey, how you guys doing? I'm Lauren. But basically, with perception, it's kind of what everybody is saying. Is basically how you look at a situation, how you look at life. Period. It could be a good or bad situation, but it's how your vision sees it more so. A lot of times, I believe a lot of people allow other people's perceptions to take over their own perceptions of whatever the situation may be, or even in life. So, yeah, this is a very interesting topic. I'm excited about it because I think in my personal life, you know, growing up or even in this business, sometimes we allow other people to dictate how you look at things or how you may feel about a situation, rather you stepping up and actually saying, no, I look at it this way. I feel this is the right move. I think I should go here and look there. We lose a lot of focus on self in perception, in my mind. Self. It's your perception. How do you look at it? So stop trying to allow somebody else to feed it through you and let yourself feed it through yourself, if that makes sense. I don't know if that part made sense, but yeah, to me it did.
That was loud and clear for me. That made perfect sense. And, you know, it's good to look at it that way because it is our own minds and our own thoughts who literally decide how we feel, how we let things penetrate us, how we react to it. You know, if you have a milestone that you hit, what does that do to you? Does it make you say, okay, I'm going to coast it? Or is your perception like, okay, wow, I just got an adrenaline rush, let me go a little bit harder? It's your perception on everything. If you run into a roadblock, you're like, oh, I just stubbed my toe. Bang, you could take that as something bad, or you could turn it into a positive. How we look at everything. So I wanted to introduce Jared. He's been wanting to hop on one of our hangouts, and you know we're gonna chop it up a little bit. Theo, just how you doing, bro?
What's up, man? What's good, man?
Basically, we're talking about perception. You know, I just got a chance to send you the link, but you know, we're live. There's a couple people watching us right now, but for the most part, you know, you're pretty good with everything. You're all around like a leader, and this is what this panel's all about. And if anybody's watching this right now and you say you want to hop on, you know, just shoot us a message. We'll get you on the panel too. You got to pass the mindset test first. Basically, guys, Jared, if you want to hop on real quick and introduce yourself. We met Jared in Miami, and his first couple words to me was, "Man, I've never seen so many people happy in one place before." Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, Elevated Minds was definitely doing it big in Miami, and I was supposed to say when I was out there, just getting around the group, the vibe just was so elevated and stuff. But to get to the point that we'll talk about today about the perception, in you may look at it like personal development, but also in how things happen, how you take bad situations or things that may have happened to us, and then we say, well, this happened, that happened. But if you really look at where you are today, so many bad things happen or unfortunate things occurred, which a turn happened, where led me from A to B to C to D. And now, let's say I'm on the panel, Elevated Minds. I got my own business starting up. Things are looking. I was talking to my boss today. He was like, Jared, what's this business thing you're doing? I said, I'm not trying to work no more next year. I'm building up something that's going to take care of me and my family from down the road. So I'm not going to 50 years here. My boss, he'd be there cold, sick, limping, about to break. And I'm like, why do you do this? What do you go through this for? So he just everything he looks as a negative. Whereas with your perception, your mindset, turn it into a positive. You can go so much further. Turn that lemon into lemonade. So sweet. About perception, I'm looking forward to seeing how far where we go with this tonight. Because when I saw that's what I was talking about, I was like, I'm all about that. Taking that negative, turn it to a positive, and turn it into something much, much more. And it can happen every day, and it does happen every day.
Wow, powerful stuff, bro. So welcome to our Hangouts for the first time. If you're just getting a chance to hop on, we got a couple of people on tonight, and we're just sharing ideas and concepts on the word perception and what it may mean to you, certain situations that you come across and you think it's not good. You don't understand that yet that everything that goes bad has an equal or greater good. You learn that from Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill said it. If there's something that's going sour, most likely it's setting up for something really positive, and you just have to position yourself. And that's a key word, positioning and mentally preparing and actually being able to accept whatever's about to happen. If it's something really good, you know that it's gonna be powerful for you, and you just gotta like position yourself. It's happened a lot to me in terms of if something happens bad, I don't even question missing the bus or having a flat tire on a ride or something. Anything that slows me down to getting somewhere, I'm kind of like, well, I don't think too much of it, but I don't think too much of it. You know what I mean? My perception on how my days go are I try to be as positive as possible. If I feel like, okay, I need to make a change, then I'll make a change. We can control all of that. That's the beautiful part about it. We can control all of it. We can make decisions, split-second decisions, like right now decisions. I decide how I feel. And there's this one YouTube video that when I first watched it, it's by a man called Ed Foreman. He's a personal development guy. Ed Foreman is an old dude. And he's just funny how he speaks. He's an old country dude. And he was talking about happiness and how to create happiness and how easy it is for him, you know? And people ask him all the time, you know, Ed, why are you so happy? He's like, you know, why not? I have right now to live. I'm breathing. I see, you know, I can touch. I can taste. I love chicken. And, you know, if I'm grateful for being able to eat chicken. I love playing ball. So if I can go outside and get some hoop on, I'm grateful for that. My perception on life is I try to be as positive as possible. Any given situation, because even, you know, a slight little downtrend will continue to attract more of that. So what you want to do is position yourself to think better. What he said in one of those videos was, you know, we have yesterday that already happened. So everything that happened in your past is gone, guys. You can't make it come back. So yesterday is erased, and tomorrow is not promised. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We try to envision it and, you know, manifest it and try to create it, but we're not God ourselves. So tomorrow's not promised, but right now I'm speaking. Right now I'm taking breaths, I'm acting, I'm being a human being. And right now I can decide to do something. I can decide to feel oppressed. I can decide to feel angry. I can decide to take action on something right now. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't have another chance. I can't say 5 minutes from now I'm going to do it because I might trip over and bust my nose, and then I got to call the ambulance. And then when I call the ambulance, I don't know, the truck misses the apartment. We never know what can happen. You never know. It's how you perceive it right now and how you decide right now to take actions on certain things. So if you know you have a deadline, take care of it as soon as possible. If you know you have a prospect to call, take care of it as soon as possible. You know, and making adjustments like this can improve your health. It can improve your spirituality. I'm making myself become more of a reader. I'm going to read. You know where I'm starting? I'm starting in the Bible. And then from there, I'm going to get these little personal development nuggets on. Because I listen to a lot of it. You know, I see a lot of it. But reading, or how I interpret, how I perceive what I'm actually looking at is totally different. Nobody's telling me the story. I'm taking it and I'm creating my own. I love making stories. So, you know, I wanted to kind of share that on perception. How can you feel right now, this second, today? You know, and it helps so much because every second of the day you can improve on it. And I just wanted to share that with you guys real quick. If anybody wants to hop on and, you know, speak a little bit on that, be our guest.
I can kind of piggyback from that. It's funny you just said that because I'm going to tell my little story of just what happened. I'm going to be honest with you. I just woke up not too long ago. Normally when you wake up, what happens? You feel sluggish. And I just had to make a quick decision on how I felt right now. I had to get on this Hangout. I had to do this Hangout because this is important to me. This is what I do every Wednesday. So, yes, my alarm, I didn't hear it, but I got up. And as soon as I got up and I saw my beautiful people here, my mind shifted. I could have been the one that's like, man, you know what, Carl? I don't feel like getting on this. You know what, guys? I'm not in the right mindset, but I just woke up instantly because I chose to wake up. I chose to be here. I chose to want to speak how I feel about this. I chose to take on this opportunity right here, right now, although I still have crust in my eyes. But that's the honest truth. That's how you deal with a situation, really. It's instant. It's how you feel instantly about a situation. So it's up to you to decide that. It really is. I'm gonna let you guys talk for a moment while I get my daughter settled down, but she obviously don't think I have a Hangout right now. But I just had to give you guys the example of how what Carl just said, what I just did literally to be on this Hangout. I had to kick my gears from 0 to 100 straight from a nap that I overslept. I will admit I'm human because I haven't slept in a long time, but I'm here. I showed up. I'm excited. I'm back on the grind. Lauren is back, guys, so I'll be back as soon as I get my daughter situated.
Hello?
Appreciate you. Yeah, Theo, how's it going, man?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed, man. I'm just pulling over to talk to you guys for a second. I'm in between patients.
Yeah, right now. He's committed. I love it.
Yo,
nice to have you on the Hangout, bro.
You know I have to hang out without work, man.
It's definitely good. Is this your first one?
Yes, first one, man. I'm blessed. I'm excited.
Wow, this man's
Yes,
first
sir.
on air. Word.
I can't really see you, but it's all good, man. It's all good. I hear you. As long as I hear you.
Well, we're recording you right now, so you can use this later on.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Later on.
When it comes to perception, in my personal opinion, I believe that's very important in life in general. Not only in business, but life in general. I myself, I'm 6'6", right? So on a day-to-day, I'm 6'6". So on a day-to-day basis, I'm speaking with patients. I'm speaking with different professionals and whatnot. And what I've come to understand is certain people, like, the way they choose to see their day, it comes off in how they speak. Like, I've encountered some doctors, when I'm talking to them, like, they get really cold, and for 2 seconds I don't even want to work with them. But what I've come to understand is perception means everything. I took it upon myself, especially when it comes to God. I believe in God. I'm a Christian. I'm a firm believer in God. The way I feel is, if you're going to preach the gospel, if you're going to live a life that's Christ-like, you can't walk around being upset. If you're going to be doing a business, if you're going to be working with others, you can't walk around with a certain demeanor on your face. Because in a sense, no one's going to really want to work with you. So I believe perception means.
Did we lose him?
Yeah, probably. He looks like he froze. Carl, you there?
You're on mute, Carl.
Oh, my bad. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah, I think he froze. But Theo, if you can hear us, you're frozen, and you could just hop off and come back on. But for the most part,
I actually want to bounce off of what he was saying. Like, I want to tell a quick story, because he was talking about how what basically people's perception, it comes off in their day. While he was talking, I just wrote down some things I wanted to say, and basically think about this, like, very, very, very logically, right? When you change the way you see something, it changes the way it looks. That's like kind of common sense, but it's deep. Think about it. When you change the literal angle that you see something, it looks different to you. Woo! Right? And just hearing all this, I've heard all kinds of crazy stories, but the best one that stands up to me, I remember hearing a story of this big guru guy, right? The big public speaker guy who's talking to the people, and he's inspiring everyone. And so he's preaching this message. He's really delivering it, right? He's telling the people how to change their lives, but he has horrible characteristics. He doesn't know how to. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a nugget. I know I'm always saying that. That's like my phrase. But when you – Carl's looking at me. But they just pop up. Basically, when you only indulge in things that empower you, you have no choice but to be powerful, full of power. I'm going to say it again. When you only indulge in things that empower you, when you only interpret things in a way that makes you feel powerful, in a way that, if you only surround yourself with people that lift you up, you have no choice but to be powerful or full of power. See it? Powerful, full of power. But anyway, I want to get on with the story. And he was on stage. He's the big guy, but he's not interpreting things going on in the right way. So let me tell you what was going on. He's talking, he's delivering this message, and he sees someone in the front row. And basically, he sees this person on the phone. He shrugs it off, but it's really bugging him, and he's trying to tell the people the message. And then the next thing he sees this person, throwing in headphones, and he's talking about the message, but he has his eye on this person in the front row. And the next thing you see this person typing, and so he just loses his composure, and he starts yelling in the message. He said, and some people really need to listen instead of listening to music, instead of not paying attention. And he really goes ham on this person in the front row. And it actually turns out that the person in the front row was deaf. And the thing in the person's ear was something that actually enabled the deaf person to hear what the speaker was saying more clearly. And the phone screen wasn't a phone screen. It was a communication device from the person who was an aide to the deaf person. And they were actually, the thing is, the earset converted the words. The earset converted the words into from audio to actual something, a script that you can read. And the aide was, forwarding it to the device. And it's funny how we can react out of perception, just seeing things through dirty lenses, a dirty filter. Like someone said, just a minute ago, I heard another story, and then I'm going to pass it on, of Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. And basically he walked into a store one time, and he saw somebody just staring at him, just eyeballing him down, right? Just looking at him. And he's like, I shrug it off. The next thing you know, he's going into every corner and he notices the person's walking with them, watching very intently, very carefully. He starts to get irritated. He's like, look, I'm successful, I'm a motivational speaker. I don't need to steal nothing from in here. And so basically, Eric's on his way out of the store because he doesn't like the atmosphere. And the guard, you know, comes up to him. The person who was looking at it comes up to him. And Eric's about to pop off like, look, man, I don't have to steal anything. And the person says, can I have your autograph? If he had blown his composure, this is, you know, words from his mouth. Had he blown his composure and, you know, demonstrated that ill part of him, he said his principle saved him. He knew who he was. So, you know, his perception at that moment almost cost him a fan, a follower, a respectability, right? Perception is everything, guys. You're a perception setter. Can you hear me, Carl?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, that was really powerful because I was thinking of the Eric Thomas story as soon as you started telling your story. So I totally agree with you on that, and it's powerful, and it's exactly how everybody has been, you know, sharing their stories. It's a filter. It's how we see it. It's how we look at it. It's, you know, in a brilliant way. You know, if you look at something a different way, it'll look totally different. That's so deep. It's simple, but it's deep. And if you write something like that down and you read it every day as a quote, it'll start to plant seeds into your mind. You'll start to grow. It'll germinate into powerful things for you. So I appreciate that, Jermaine. And, you know, we didn't want to keep the hangout too long tonight. We basically wanted to share our thoughts on the whole word perception, on how you perceive perception, how you see your day, how you start right now and, you know, decide to do something different, whether it's read or take action on something that you put in the back closet for the longest, or come up with an action plan, start working on getting your business taxes right. A lot of different things that go into what we do. So perception is everything. And Theo, I don't know if you were able to speak again, but you got cut off halfway through what you were sharing with us. And if you can talk, just go ahead and hop back on. If not, I wanted to play a little YouTube segment. So something extremely powerful that I feel like, you know, 5 minutes of can shift you, and you're probably going to ask me for the rest of it.
Theo.
Yeah, I don't think his connection. He's on the road, so it's all good. Play this real quick for you guys.
Focus obsessively and work, work, work.
I don't know if y'all can hear me. Mine
Obsessive.
in and out too.
Which means have a
Can you
cheat
hear me?
day. Put the blinders on. Think about what you want to happen all the time. Which, when you do that with anticipation, it says work, work, work. It's because the effort you put in will be so much pleasure, you'll want to do it all the time. 6, timing is everything. Now, it's interesting, when Bill Gates was being interviewed on Larry King Live, they asked him, Bill, you're one of the richest men in the world, what's the secret to success? He said, well, basically a couple things, Larry. He says, first, depth of vision. You have to see the future. You have to know exactly what you want. He goes, let me give you an example. He said, when I was looking at the computer business, there's a lot of people that saw the computer business, but they didn't see the potential in the computer business. So you have to see the potential in things. And that is really going beyond looking at what you see, but look at what it could become. And I'll give you all an example here. Years and years ago, I was in Denver, Colorado, and I was talking to the past president of one of the largest corporations in America. And I asked him, you know, what is one of his secrets of success? And he said depth of vision. And I said, what do you mean? He says, well, just don't look at things as they are. Look at them as how they could become. Have depth of vision. And he gave me an example. He said, Kevin, make believe you're looking at an acorn. And he said, look at that acorn. And with depth of vision, what do you really see? And I said, if I say food for squirrels, I flunked the test. So I said, I don't see an acorn. I see a tree. He says, very good. He goes, you know what I see? I see a forest. See? Depth of vision. And I go, I get it. I don't see a forest. I see houses and buildings all over the world from the wood. Do you understand? from that. That's called depth of vision, seeing things further down the track. But when Bill Gates was on Larry King, so he said, first, depth of vision. And then he said, timing. You have to be at the right place at the right time. He said, luck has a lot to do with that. Now, luck is created. So when you want something and focus on it obsessively, the universe will give you circumstances, situations, events, and people. In other words, the universe will put you at the right place at the right time. And then Bill Gates said, but a lot of people had the same vision I did, and a lot of people were at the same place I was. The big difference is I took action. And this is one thing. The universe will present to you circumstances, events, and situations, but it will be up to you to go with your feeling and do something and take action when it's presented. And the story goes about the minister who was in Louisiana at the church when the floods were coming. And they evacuated the town, and the minister said, no, I don't have to be evacuated because God's going to take care of me. So he stood there at the church, but the water continued to rise and rise and rise. So a boat came by and said to the preacher, we evacuated the whole town. Why don't you hop in this boat and let's get out of here? You know, this is dangerous. And the preacher said, no, God's going to take care of me. I'm not worried. Well, a little while later, the waters continued to rise and rise and rise. Another boat came by and said, preacher, you know, this is getting worse. It isn't getting better. We're here to rescue you. He says, no, I am committed to staying because God's going to take care of me. So the boat left. Well, the waters continued to rise, and the preacher was on the roof of the chapel. And a helicopter came by and said, preacher, it's getting worse. It ain't getting better. You know, you could die here if it rises anymore. And the preacher said, nope, God's going to take care of me. I'm sure everything's going to be fine. Well, the water continued to rise, and the preacher drowned. And when he was up in heaven, dead, St. Peter was there, and the preacher was mad. The preacher said, I don't understand this. I believed in the Bible. I believed in God. I thought God was going to take care of me, but I died. What happened? And St. Peter said, you idiot, we sent you 2 boats and a helicopter.
So I hope you guys picked up what I picked up from that. It's to believe, have faith, have faith, have faith. But when them boats and those helicopters come by to save you from whatever you're going through, grab onto it, jump in the boat, take it for what it is. It's an opportunity to get you out of your current situation, out of your current mind frame. It's so powerful because our perception is how we see things. He shared something about an acorn. The reason he said forest is because when you take a look at something so small, so new, it's a baby, it's fresh, it's by itself. How do you create something from that? How do you duplicate it without everybody else seeing what you're seeing? That's leadership, that's perception. That's where you start and take off from, you know? And it's so powerful to hear a piece like that because that's exactly what a lot of people lack. They lack information like this. I promise you, if you listen to these things over and over and continue to surround yourself around people you want to become like or can learn from, or you start seeing things a different way, your days go smooth. You don't stress because stress is your decision. You know, you decide to let something penetrate you, period. So, you know, I kind of just wanted to throw that out there, guys. It's a powerful, powerful segment. And you know, if anybody wants to share what they got from that or anything they might want to add on for the call tonight, go ahead, please come out because in a few minutes I'm going to actually be heading off to another Google Hangout.
Bill Gates thing was powerful.
One
Okay.
thing.
Who's that? Theodore? Alden?
Yeah. Nah,
Okay, I'm gonna let
Alvin, just real quick. Real quick. Like, you know.
Oh, man. He said real quick. And we can't hear you anymore, Alden.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah, you cut off for a second, but you're back.
Alright, what I'm saying is, you know, your perception on things is vital to your success. Sometimes if you have the wrong perception on things, that could really, throw your success off. Like the thing with Eric Thomas. If he had, blown his composure, he would have lost someone that was, a fan of his. So just keep in mind your perception on life, period, is vital to everything that happens for you that's successful or that's positive in life.
Absolutely.
Sorry for the
Going to
background noise.
in regards to
Hello?
the Bill Gates
Hello?
thing was, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, like I was saying, he said something about Bill Gates in the audio, and people need to recognize the opportunities, like that whole depth of vision thing. That blew my mind. He looked in the acorn and didn't see the acorn. He looked at a tree. He didn't see a tree. He saw forest. He saw, the wood from the trees building houses, and you have to prepare yourself. Like I say it all the time, it's not enough to be at the right place at the right time. You have to be the right person at the right place at the right time. And I heard that achievement was talent plus preparation. And a lot of, like, just with this, like the story with the the preacher dude, and he wasn't prepared. He didn't recognize the boat and the helicopter and all these things that were sent his way to make his life easier. A lot of the times in life, we try to play the game, but we try to play the game from a weak standpoint. We don't recognize the strengths that we already have and use it to our advantage, right? Think about all the things that you have going for you, like that gives you an edge on life. Like, with network marketing, I really didn't want to take it here, but I came in and I didn't know a thing about network marketing per se, but what I did know is I had a heart. What I did know is that I love talking to people. What I did know is I knew how to shoot videos. So I didn't start off blogging. I didn't start off doing, gurus. I just started off doing what I know. So some of you guys in your situations, it doesn't matter what situation it is, look at your assets. Look at what you have currently. And it's called leverage. I heard, maybe it was Archimedes that said, if you give me a lever long enough and a wedge, I'll move the entire world, right? That's leveraging what you have. I'm going to close it up, but let's take a book, for example, like a literal book, a dictionary. Make the most out of what you have. Do you see a dictionary, or do you see a place to put your cup, to hold your cup, or maybe a footrest? You see what I'm saying? Some of us don't realize we have the resources to change our life. Like, I'll give you one last example, because we are entrepreneurs. My friend Larry Christian. People be on Facebook complaining about how much, for example, they hate their jobs, complaining about how much they hate the situations, complaining about how much their life sucks, and they're on the very platform that can change it all for them. Think about that. My friend Larry Christian, completely homeless, with nothing but a cell phone and $50 in his pocket, and he turned it into $8,000 in 43 days, and I guarantee you, like the audio Carl played, it was because he had vision. When he saw that $50, he didn't see $50. He saw a hotel room that he could now crash at. He saw maybe a car that he could now drive. He saw a situation different than the one he was currently living in. And why? Because if you change the way you look at things, it'll change the way it appears. Perception.
Powerful stuff. Wow. Guys, anybody else wants to add on that before we go ahead and close this up? Yeah, we can hear you.
Nah, real quick, I'm not going to be too long. In my experience, what I've come to understand is also the people you put around you can affect your perception as well. And it's about conditioning. Conditioning has a big effect on, a big influence on perception. Like just how every Wednesday you guys get together and we speak on certain topics and whatnot, it has an adverse effect on how we think. Like even before I even got into social networking, like networking with other people and whatnot. Before I even got into this, like I was telling Carl the other day, like I felt so lost. But I was looking, like I knew there's something better I can do to actually further myself and whatnot. Then I started speaking to people like Carl, in all honesty, and they start changing my perception. Like, okay, changing my perception of things, how to look at things. Like, you know what? Like, working the 9 to 5 works for now. But the funny thing is, I'm not gonna be able to attain certain things just doing the same things over and over. Like I was trying to say earlier, um, I'm a big dude. I'm 6'6". So when I used to work hand in hand with patients and whatnot, when I came in, once the minute they see me or perceive me, like, wow, this is a big black dude. Like I'm a little nervous. So one thing I started doing, you guys will notice, is I started conditioning myself to smile to the point where it became who I was. Like, so like whenever you guys see me, I'm always me smile for some reason. I don't know why, but I started conditioning myself to smile. I've come across people who are very rude and whatnot, but one thing I do in order to deal with them, like in a sense, I kind of pick out little habits I see that they have that I like, or little things that I like about them, which allows me to perceive them in a better light. Like too often when we meet people, we tend to focus on their flaws and any mistake, like especially if we know them personally, we tend to focus on their flaws and what they've done in their past rather than focusing on what they're doing in the now. Like with all you guys on this call right now or this video chat, I do not care about what you did in the past, what mistake you made before, what job you're working right now. What you're doing right now is on a call. That's going to condition your mind, which will change your perception so that you can go ahead and take the next step in your life. So, like I said, conditioning equals perception. So, in a sense, the video we just watched just now, that when I get off the call, I always message Carl, yo, what's that video, son? Like, I got to watch that. I listen to Robert Kiyosaki from time to time. Mr. Ramsey's, I'm reading a book with him right now, Money Makeover. Change your perception. A lot of people think you need debt to start a business. A lot of people think you need to finance a vehicle in order for it to be brand new. And no, you don't. No, you don't. We have society has conditioned us that we need debt in order to acquire wealth. Society has told us, for example, you know what? I want to buy a house. Okay, what's your FICO score? I think I posted that earlier on Facebook. What's your FICO score? FICO just basically says how well you pay back debt. So if you do not have debt, if you don't, FICO score just basically tell you how well you pay debt. So they're telling you have to build your FICO score before we can give you money. So in a sense, you have to go back, acquire debt, then try to pay it down before you can acquire. No. You gotta change your perception.
Oh my goodness.
You understand? So, like I said, I'm gonna leave you at that. I'm a rap for the next 5 hours. I know me.
Yeah, that's real. The FICO score is crazy. To get this big house that you can pay for, I want to see how much debt you have. What kind? Like really? That right there, that hit hard. I gotta look on your page for that. But that's crazy because somebody's FICO score should not tell them who they are as a person. They shouldn't tell them how much money they have. In order to get it's crazy because somebody said in order to get a better chance at getting a house or a car or something like that, it looks better if you have credit. Why? Why can't I just give you cash? Why do I have to pull credit to get the house? Because it looks better? No. Right. It's crazy. That's bullshit. Excuse my language. That's crazy. I want that house with no debt. That's what I want. Give me that house with no debt.
Yo, pay attention to this. Like I said, same thing with financing a vehicle. The first thing I'm gonna tell you, like, yo, you need it brand new. But then again, you fail to understand the car depreciates the minute you start driving it off the lot. There's certain things. I don't want to say lower class. There's a lot of things us who've been raised with parents who didn't have these opportunities that we do not know. Yo, honestly, like money is like a chess game. You just have to understand the game. That's all it really is. You have to understand how it works. Because pay attention. If they're gonna give you a credit card, they want you to get a credit card. They'll push you to get a credit card before a debit card because they're gonna tell you, look, we're gonna give you flyer miles. We're gonna give you gifts that you could use towards whatever. But that's all
free
to
movie
keep you.
tickets.
Huh?
Free movie tickets.
Just what? Just to keep you in a circle. I bought a wedding ring on the spare moon. I'm a sporadic person. I was sitting, like, I don't wear jewelry or whatever, but my wife's like, I want a ring. I said, all right, cool, you can have one. So I was sitting there at the cage or something. Then they're like, yeah, you can get a ring right now. Like, I said, I got most of it right now. I got about $800 in my pocket. They're like, well, you can put the rest on credit. I said, all right, cool. Do I approve? Yeah, you approve. Like, yeah, you approve. I approve, man. When I read the statement the next month, it said 33%. I'm like, oh. So the funny thing is, we're quicker to use credit as opposed to debit. Why? Because debit's your own money. So when it's your own money, you're less likely to swipe it. You're less likely to swipe it. So when you use credit, we get a little trigger happy. So in a sense, like I'm gonna cut it short. I'm gonna keep talking. All I gotta say is, life is about perception. That's all it is. Because if you change your perception, and this is real, happiness starts with you. It doesn't start with your finances. Finances, like I said earlier today, finances just allow us to acquire the certain lifestyle, the luxuries that we feel that we deserve. But happiness starts with you. So when you change your perception, you can start being happy today. When you change your perception, especially when in the endeavors that you're doing right now, you see the future. You see where you're heading. You don't need nobody to tell you what you're doing. When someone tells you, oh, that's a scam, they lack vision. They don't see what you see. They don't have your grind. They don't have your hustle. They don't have. So you can't take your heart and put it into somebody else.
That's right.
Wow.
And what they say,
You can't take your heart.
Can see before anything else.
You can't take your heart and put it into anybody else. Basically, guys, I hope you got a lot of information from this. I sure did. And this is so powerful. Every Wednesday we come back here and we mastermind. We throw these ideas around. We learn with each other. We grow with each other. Perception is everything. Money is a chess game. You know, there's so many little things. Decide now to be happy. You know, we'll see you guys next week on Wednesday. God bless you. It's officially over.